A new national study is putting a spotlight on just how tough it's become to afford rent in Florida, ranking it the worst state in the country now for renters. A new consumer affairs study ranks Florida the worst state to rent, with residents spending close to or more than a third of their income on housing.
Yeah, what's shaking, everybody? Tell a friend that it's him again, J King, the one, J King, back with another crazy video. Got a video today, a little different, a little bit on the political side. This is not a political channel, but the economy is so crazy, man. You know, I just had to do a video about it, you know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's get to the crazy.
In Florida, rising costs are sparking frustration among many Trump voters across the state. From housing, groceries, gas, insurance, and everyday expenses, the pressure is building fast. Stay with us until the end and listen closely as people share their personal stories behind this growing cost of living crisis.
I had to turn on all the lights in the kitchen because it is so dark here. Ever since we tinted the back windows, and I can't wait to see how it affects my bill, because $800 a month is ridiculous.
I hate right now. I hate the struggles that middle class people have to go through. I hate having to choose between my prescriptions to make me healthy and feeding my kids.
Damn.
But I can't afford anything right now.
Lady, you voted for this.
I'm just struggling.
How are you going to explain to your kids your decision? You know what I mean? The fact that you voted for this. How do you explain that to your kids? I really want to know.
And I know I'm not alone. I just don't know what to do anymore.
States that are under Republican rule fare the worst across virtually every metric.
Yep.
Hell no, don't move to Florida, okay? I've been here 7 years. Don't do it.
$2,500 for rent for a non-downtown area is diabolical. Why is West Fort Lauderdale, and when I say west, I mean like west, like Sunrise West. Why are they charging $2,500 to $3,000 for a one-bedroom apartment? I swear everyone lost their mind.
That's New York prices.
I don't know if it's just me, but I just spent $226 in Sprouts for meats and boberia. And the other day in Publix, like $400 and something on the same thing. I think these prices are literally so crazy, and it's just for my husband and I. I am so curious to know what families are spending on groceries a week or a month, because there's no way people are surviving paying, I don't know, let's just say like $800 plus if you have a big family. I'm in shock and confused, and I feel like every time I go to Publix or any of the grocery stores, it's like so much money.
How much is it in Florida? $5,292. That is literally over $3,000 more than the national average. That is absolutely ridiculous, right? And I can vouch for that. I can tell you because I own rental property.
Guys, I was drinking the Kool-Aid, the Florida Kool-Aid, where I was like, oh my God, everything has to be so expensive. And like, you can't get a one-bedroom apartment for under $2,500. I am no longer drinking the Kool-Aid. My current rent is $3,050.
Damn.
Yes, I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
Damn.
My new rent is going to be somewhere in the $1,900 to $2,100 range because...
Hold up, real quick. Just on the top of my head, I'm not no mathematician or nothing like that. But isn't that $36,000 a year plus? Am I tripping? Is my math off?
This is getting out of control. I mean, imagine what I can do with an extra $1,000 a month.
Well, it's a moment that too many renters are all too familiar with these days, opening that lease renewal and wondering how much higher it may go.
It's one of these things where you almost start to feel numb to it.
For Alex Calianis, it's a monthly reality trying to keep up as rent continues to climb.
It's stressful. It's stressful, having to deal with that burden, perpetually.
Alex is by no means alone. A new national study is putting a spotlight on just how tough it's become to afford rent in Florida, ranking it the worst state in the country now for renters. A new consumer affairs study ranks Florida the worst state to rent, with residents spending close to or more than a third of their income on housing. The report also finds that Florida has fewer tenant protections than many states. And while there's no shortage of apartments anymore, many of those built recently are high-end units, not affordable housing. Nope. Economists say until more workforce housing is built, many renters will continue to feel the squeeze.
What we should really be concerned about is not necessarily the price itself, but how much of my income that price is taking up.
USF economist Michael Snipes says Florida also lacks safeguards, no limits on application fees, no statewide controls on rent increases, and fewer protections against eviction.
These rent prices in America really don't make any sense.
Actually, it makes a lot of sense.
In Miami.
Yeah, you're right. It don't make sense. It makes a whole lot of dollars. You're absolutely right, lady.
Up $750. And let's not even say Miami. North Miami. If you know, you know.
A new report just came out that showed that Florida is the worst state in the country right now for renters. And what that means in a real way is that people are paying almost 40% of their income just to rent.
Hey, y'all.
Yo, real quick, pardon me for pausing, but yo, I remember a time, man. No, I grew up in New York, grew up north. I remember a time, man, for years. I'm talking about for a long time. It was always, yo, move down south, man. The cost of living down south is cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Your dollar stretches further. Rent is cheap. Mortgage is cheap. Homes are cheap. Food is cheap. Gas is cheap. Like the south. Anyway, it didn't matter what state. Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Alabama, you name it. Like, yo, the south was the place to go if you wanted, you know, affordable, cheap living. That ain't the case no more.
With me, and let me show you what you get for about $1,400 in Florida. Y'all gonna love this. So spacious.
500 square feet.
Freshly renovated, by the way. All right. Here are the living quarters. As you can see, it's massive. Probably about 2,000 square foot right here. Yep. That leads into somebody else's unit, you know, because privacy is not really expected for $1,400. Just to bring a box there. Yeah, at least you get 3 switches with a no fixture and some hi-hats. Get a nice little wall unit. It is nice and cool in here. There goes your closet with a hot water heater in it. You know. Here's the master bath. That's the master bath right there. You know, got stuff going up. Here's your dining room. Looks massive, doesn't it? Look how big it is. I mean, it's just so spacious. Yeah, $1,400 right here.
This is New York.
$1,660, and I can show you the whole place.
Yo, now the South is really y'all really experiencing what New York has to deal with. This is the type of stuff New York has been dealing with for forever. Like, seriously.
Man, that's ridiculous. Sorry guys, it's not $1,400. I apologize. It's
$1,700 for 500 square feet.
You're walking distance from the beach.
Ron DeSantis, y'all need to do something about these rent prices. There's no reason that people's rent should be more than somebody's mortgage. It's crazy in South Florida right now. Y'all making it so hard for people to afford to live on their own. You gotta work 2 and 3 jobs. You gotta do Uber. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. That's crazy. Rent prices in South Florida and Florida period need to go down. President Trump, Ron DeSantis, this message is for you.
You asking a whole bunch of Republicans that Florida is Republican controlled. The United States government is Republican controlled. You asking the people who did this to fix it? Come on, that's a little disingenuous. You got to be. I mean, they did this. They not gonna fix it.
The average person in the state of Florida spends 37% of their income on rent.
Damn.
More than any other state in the country. And yet we have so many developers throughout Florida trying to convince the public that this is great, right? That all the development going on is great. It signifies progress. Everyone's doing great. The Florida economy is booming, blah, blah, blah. Someone that they interviewed for this article said, hey, I'm married. We have a 2-bedroom that costs $3,000 a month.
Damn.
So yeah, pretty expensive. The overall cost of living, insurance rates on anything, home, auto, are typically more expensive here than elsewhere in the country. So many factors. It's like you're paying a penalty to live here in Florida, honestly. And if we're talking about Miami, ni digamos. And when it comes to tenants/renters, virtually no rights are given to you in Florida. landlords and developers have the law on their side 100%.
Gas prices went up 60 cents in a week where I live, Central Florida. It was $2.79 last week. It's $3.49 today.
Man, lady, that's still a hell of a lot cheaper than where I'm at up here in Philly in Pennsylvania. A hell of a lot cheaper.
Update on gas prices. We're at $4.11 for cash.
I stand
$4.21 for credit on regular.
I stand corrected.
On our diesel, we're $5.59 for cash and $5.69 for credit card.
This is not sustainable.
Next to us, Racetrack is at $3.99 and sorry, my phone, and $5.45.
Me and my roommates have been trying to carpool more to, save some gas.
Caroline Lafferty is a student at the University of Tampa, feeling the pinch every time she fills up her tank.
60 to 70, if I fill it up, but I think in past months, maybe like $40, so it definitely makes a difference, like that $20.
With gas prices averaging around $4.04 a gallon nationwide and just over $3.96 in Tampa Bay, Florida has issued an emergency rule allowing E15 gas to be sold for 90 days starting on May 1st.
Not really a fan of that, so that's the downside of that.
Hold up, real quick. That E15 gas, from what I understand it, like for real, it's terrible for these newer cars. Like that E15s, it is absolutely it'll tear these newer cars up. So if you got a newer car, like like within the last something that was made within the last like 10, 15 years or something, like maybe 10 years, somewhere around there, 15 years. Yeah, I would advise to like try to find out what gas stations is using that stuff. And avoid those guys. Don't put that stuff in your car because it's going to tear your car up.
Environment that I live in, and I want to keep it going for as long as it can go.
Still, with school drop-offs along with a daily drive to work, Adam says high prices leave her little choice.
It's definitely been inconvenient, but it isn't every day. I mean, you got to get the gas. You got to get to places.
Absolutely.
Gas prices in Florida went up 17 cents overnight. Diesel hit a record high of $5.73 a gallon. And I'm sure you've already heard or felt how gas prices are now at an average of $4 per gallon across the country. And Palm Beach County now seeing an average of $4.26 after jumping up about 14 cents overnight. Martin County jumped up 20 cents overnight, and really all of the Treasure Coast now more than $4 per gallon.
Southern Southwest Florida.
Ooh,
gas prices right now. We're trying to go out and keep our tank filled out, like over half a tank, but literally I don't know how the F we're gonna go anywhere. Okay, what's the gas price right now in Florida this morning? What do you got for a regular unleaded?
It's $4.19.
So $4.19 for a regular. Our car requires the what? Plus. How much is the plus right now?
$4.54.
Alright, let's see how fast they go up, because they're certainly not going down.
What are gas prices by you? And can you hear the tears hitting the pavement? I mean, come on, should I not have topped it off? $60, gonna have to get a fifth job.
So, I'm at Publix right now, but how come nobody is talking about $7.29 for a bag of chips? We're all talking about eggs, but what about these $7.29 chips?
You don't need no chips. Eggs are way more nutritious. Is more of a necessity. Don't let me stop. You gotta start prioritizing.
Gas.
You gotta start prioritizing. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, I understand. People want the luxuries. People want the the simple things and everything, the sweet things. But listen, we at a point now, man. It's about prioritizing. Eggs over chips. You got it just is what it is. Like the luxuries, you know what I'm saying? These luxuries, these amenities and shit that we've gotten used to, that we've gotten accustomed to, they're gonna have to stop. You gotta put them to the side for a while.
Insurance premiums to rising grocery and utility bills. Many say their incomes just aren't keeping up. For some families, it's forcing tough choices about what they can afford and what they have to go without each month.
I came to Publix because I didn't pack any lunch. So I go on the Publix app trying to see what's the sandwich on sale. The Italian, my favorite. I pull up, yes. Why do I see this price? $9.99. I go up to the gentleman. I say, hey sir, price is wrong. Because when it's on sale, give me a full foot-long sandwich for $7.99, $6.99. He's like, oh yeah, they upped the prices. We are in a recession. Do you know how much a foot-long sub now costs? $10.99. I think that's criminal. Because from where I'm from, the psychotic state of Florida, they shouldn't be anything more than $8. What are we talking about? I'm upset.
$17.33.
Oh,
That's how much
y'all
I
voted
paid
for
today
this.
for this coffee.
This is what y'all
I'm
voted
here and
for.
I'm just adding some numbers together and doing my budget because you know what? Today I asked my husband, where's the money? We're making the best we've ever made. Both earners, both incomes, good incomes and everything, and we don't have money. We're living paycheck to paycheck basically. So I put the numbers together and I decided to look at my budget. On June the 2nd, 2023, the same exact coffee was $9.92. And I don't know where my money goes. Every month I'm struggling.
Lady, you just said it. It's going to the supermarkets. It's going in your gas tank. It's going to the bill collectors. It's going to the mortgage companies, the bank. That's where your money's going, lady.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
I think what's happening with the prices in our country, this is just insanity. So basically, I was at Whole Foods like a couple of days ago. These were $7 and 7 something. Before, they were 5 something. Okay. Now today they're $6.69. What is going on? Why are we having crazy price jumps like these? These are still expensive. I don't think they should be more than $5, but okay.
I think I'm hallucinating. Check out the prices for 1 can of corn and then 1 can of green peas. This is $2 per can.
Yo, them same cans of corn was like 89 cents about a couple months ago out here.
Remember when
Out
they
here in
were
Philly.
50 cents?
Them same cans.
Where are we headed to? This is absolutely insane.
We're headed
Yeah,
towards
check this
dystopia,
out.
lady.
3 little cans for $4.
We're being
Florida is so
we're being
broke
pushed
right
out.
now. People are literally financing their groceries like a car note.
Dang.
Florida has officially turned into the second most financially distressed state in America. Of course, only Texas beat them out. When I saw it, I thought, dang, Florida and Texas are in competition with each other to see who can treat their people the worst.
Hold up real quick before I let her finish. Let that sink in. People are putting their groceries on layaway. Let that sink in for a quick second.
Here's the wild part. A new study found that 25% of Floridians are financing their groceries using buy now, pay later. You heard that right.
That's called
Loans.
layaway. It's called
We
layaway.
finance cars,
It's-
homes. Some people even do
Yeah,
it to
basically
furniture.
layaway.
Now it's chicken wings, bread, and milk.
Everything is extremely high. Groceries, gas, housing, everything. I'm working 2 jobs and it's still barely scraping by.
It is rough right now, especially with the economy, with gas prices. Gotta work basically 2 jobs.
2 jobs to get by. I mean, do you think that should be the normal?
Definitely not. I'm working more than I'm living, also going to school. I have no time to actually enjoy life.
The cost of living in Florida has accelerated.
And then she's probably she's going to school for a job to get a job that AI is going to take over in the next year or 2.
Nearly 5 times the pace of the last decade.
Rent is definitely going up, and landlords, everybody, they don't want to hear anything because, they've got to take care of their families also.
But I've noticed my bills, water bill, electricity bill has gone up for sure.
Homeowners are facing some of the highest insurance costs in the nation. Average annual property insurance premiums reached $2,794 through 2025, which is up 63% since 2020. And renters are also under pressure. Florida's average rent climbed from about $1,200 in 2015 to $2,200 in 2025, an 85% increase over the decade. Now let's talk about everyday essentials creeping up.
I wonder how if the pay scale, like the average pay scale, how much that went up over that same 10-year period. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as the pay scale goes up and you're able to keep up with your bills and everything, so if something, the price of something goes up, as long as you'll be able to cover it. But if the pay scale it stayed stagnant or growed at a slower pace, yeah, it's not sustainable. It's not.
Alarming
It's gonna
statistics
hurt.
from that report to note. Eggs have surged 135% over the past
Damn.
decade. Rice prices are up 46%, and bread has increased by 30%.
And y'all
Family
keep
of
voting
Forbes
for
gotta-
Republicans.
You gotta budget everything, budget your food, budget everything for the week. It's getting bad.
You keep
Getting real
voting for the
bad.
same
Real estate
people.
Today, Florida's population boom substantially fizzling out.
Not
Net
even giving
domestic
anybody else a
migration
chance to
collapsed
fix
from
this.
over 300,000 people in 2022 to roughly 22,000 last year. Orlando's inflow nearly vanished. Tampa's dropped 70% in a single year. Middle-class workers and young families are leaving because insurance, property taxes, and home prices price them out. Wealthy buyers keep arriving, though, but analysts warn it's a direct threat to jobs, paychecks, and home values across the state.
You gotta have 4 different hustles or 4 different jobs, for real, to make it in this economy in Florida. They talking about gas has been the lowest it's ever been, baby. Gas was $3.19 where I live. And it's for these new kids. These kids cannot make it on their own. These new young adults, they have to make 3 times the rent, which the minimum wage is not. I don't get it. How is this happening? I think the 35 and older club has figured it out because we know you got to have more than one hustle. But as far as going into young adulthood, baby, that's not happening.
I don't know if he's gaslighting us or delusional. I don't know what it is. People are struggling financially, and it's affecting people mentally. People are more aggressive, and
Why we being gaslit about the economy? If you mean lied to, you got by gas. You mean lied to? Absolutely. Hell yeah.
I don't blame them. Like the pressures of paying their bills, and so I get it.
The majority of Floridians say the state is no longer affordable. The poll was conducted by Florida Atlantic University. The poll showed that 80% of Floridians are concerned with housing and 90% say that inflation is an everyday concern. Nearly 50% of Florida's population thinks about leaving. Here's my surprise face.
Where you going?
So federal minimum wage, I believe, is $7.50 an hour. Could be $7.25. I'm not quite sure these days. I also do not pay minimum wage. So minimum wage in the state of Florida is $14 an hour, and they've been progressively trying to step it up. Next year in September, it's going to increase to $15 an hour. And I know that because I get all these cute little notifications from the state all the time because I'm an employer in the state. So I will say outside of areas like Orlando and Tampa, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County are some of the most expensive counties to live in. Our average 1-bedroom right now in Palm Beach County is $2,300 a month. Woo! And you can do the math at $14 an hour for minimum wage.
Yeah, you
If
can't.
you're working 40 hours a week, even if you have multiple jobs, it's not very affordable.
You cannot.
As a Floridian,
you
I
can't
am
survive off that.
terrified to see my electric bill in a couple weeks, or what is this, at the end of the month soon? I don't even know when it comes in, but I am terrified.
$2,300.
$1,539.
$850.
These Fort Lauderdale residents say their water bills are drowning them.
Those
And
are
they
water
say
bills?
Enraged.
Oh,
complete frustration.
I don't even have a word to describe it.
These are just several of the dozens of people who say their water bills have skyrocketed over the last 2 years.
What?
And they don't know why. Jackie Waldman lives in a single-family, 1,500 square foot home.
These data
The city
centers.
came to check her meter.
And they said it was under reading. Your meter was actually under reading. They told me that I used 55,000 gallons of water in 1 month.
Kim Marcus has a similar story.
I would say I've probably spent between over $4,000 in the past 12 months on water. And that's like a fifth of my salary. It's insane. And how many times I've called the city.
But residents say they keep asking for answers, and they feel like they're not getting anywhere.
I think people are just beaten into submission. You're held hostage. If you don't pay your bill, they're going to shut your water off. They shut your water off, then what do?
I gave my kids hell last month when the bill came in at $400. We turned lights out. I made sure the lights were out every day. I turned fans down. We took the air back up to 75. There's no heater on in that pool. My house is a whopping 2,100 square feet of nothing.
Damn.
1 floor. Okay, I'm not going 2 floors. It's not a mansion. Okay, you guys are acting like I'm heating Lake Havasu over here. No, my pool is little. There's nothing in it. It's salt water. There's no heat.
I feel like this has got to be illegal. $600 for my electric bill. Florida Power and Light. Like, if I wasn't so against solar, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? We don't have any other options. It's this or not have electricity. $600.
We're being phased
Florida
out.
Power and Light is pushing for a nearly $10 billion rate hike. That would be the biggest utility increase in U.S. history, and they're not the only ones. That's up to $360 more a year just to keep your lights on. They say it's for clean energy, massive increases in the cost of materials, and hurricane cleanup. Critics are just calling it just plain corporate greed.
Yeah.
I have a bone to pick with Tico. My electric bill came in today. $775.
Damn.
My house is less than 1,200 square feet. It's actually, yeah, it is. It's less than 1,200. I think it's 1,187 square feet. Yeah. $775. I keep my house at 78 degrees. 78 degrees. And it's going to be $775? That's actually crazy. So.
You know what? This is not sustainable. This is not sustainable at all. Literally, the cost of living is literally going up every single day. Every day when you wake up now and you check, you wake up in the morning, if you turn on the news, it'll tell you the price of gas just went up 3 cents overnight. The price of gas just went up 4. Like, literally, it's like the cost of living is going up every single day. We can't, this is not sustainable, and it's not meant to be sustainable. We are being phased out. And then you say, and you need to understand that. You know what I mean? I understand, you know, everybody's mad at Maga and everything, and Maga's mad at Maga and everything. Like, I understand all that, but we are all being phased out together. We are all being pushed out together. We are all being rendered obsolete at the same time, and you need this. You need to understand this. So something needs to be done, and they know what they're doing. They absolutely. This is not a mistake. This is not an accident. This is not unintended consequences. They know exactly what they're doing. My question is this. My question is this. Are y'all still going to continue to vote the same way y'all been voting? It's voting for the same people. Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott been governors of Texas and Florida, it seems like, for the last 30 years. Like, see, like they've been, why do y'all keep putting these people in office? They're saying you see gradually over, you see things happening over time, and you ignoring it and keep telling yourself what's gonna get better. Meanwhile, it's getting worse. Like you're lying to yourself. They don't even have to lie to you no more. You'll lie to yourself for them. You know, just because you vote, you consider yourself to be part of their Republican club, like, or they MAGA cult. Listen, man, like, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. I mean, I really ask, do you really love America? Do you? I mean, do you? Do you really love America like you claim you do? Because, boy, I tell you what, you sure is doing a whole lot to hurt America for someone who loves it. But, yo, you guys, don't let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's run these sub numbers up, baby. Thank you for stopping by. See you guys on the next round of Crazy 1.